Hey there, everyone. I hope you've been having a lovely day in your little corner of the world. I've been having a pretty good day in my little corner of the world. It's been a warm and sunny day, and according to my standards, that means it's been a wonderful day. Well, every day is wonderful, but today has been extra wonderful. I want to talk about a word that I recently discovered, and that word is apperceptive. Now, apperceptive means being able to understand new concepts or new ideas in terms of your past experiences or previous knowledge. It's the ability to assimilate those new experiences or those new concepts, those new ideas with your current mental framework. Now, we all do this one way or another, consciously or unconsciously. We use our past experiences or our previous knowledge about the world to understand new concepts. And that's not a bad thing, right? That's a human thing to do. And it's vital. It helped us 300,000 years ago when we were hunters and gatherers, and it continues to help us today to a certain extent. However, I do believe that if one has the desire to go deeper within and understand themselves in a more authentic and organic way, it's important to let go of previous experiences or past knowledge in order to be able to understand the current experience that you're having. For example, there have been times in my life where there's a situation that I'm going through, and because I've had bad experiences in the past, or maybe things haven't worked out in the way that I have envisioned them, I have a negative predisposition when I am confronted with a situation that is not of my liking, or that is not of my preference. Or maybe it's not about the situation not being about my preference. It's just a situation that is very uncertain. And that is scary. I think uncertainty is one of the scariest feelings out there, because as humans, we want to feel that sense of safety. We want to know that we're going to be okay. And many of the times, that uncertainty comes with a lot of anxiety, and sometimes that anxiety can become crippling, right? And this is where apperception, being apperceptive, can be harmful. Of course, it's necessary to have a balance and to be apperceptive, and if you're learning something new or you're exposed to a new situation and you've been, let's say, somebody is trying to scam you, and in the past you've been scammed, and this scammer that you're dealing with right now is using the same tricks as the previous person that scammed you. Of course, you want to use your apperception in those cases. And that's why balance is so important. That's why it's so important to be able to understand the context of your situation. However, when we are exposed to new experiences or uncertain experiences, sometimes, depending on the context, it's best to surrender and let go and just allow the moment to show you or reveal to you what it needs to reveal to you without any preconceived notions or any past information or any previous experiences. Without bringing that with you, it's important to just surrender. I know it sounds trite, and it is. It is to a certain extent, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. And how do you surrender? Well, I've struggled with this for forever. I've struggled with surrender for the longest time. I've struggled with letting go for the longest time, and I'm by no means a master of this because I still struggle with it to this day, but I can say that I've gotten much better over the years with allowing myself to let go of certain situations, certain outcomes, certain preconceived notions about this moment and just letting the moment be. So the way I have done this is through meditation. Meditation has helped me, and I started meditating not because of spiritual purposes. I started meditating for pragmatic and practical reasons, because evidence shows that meditation increases your gray matter and it increases your concentration. And so I used meditating as a form of giving my brain a break, even though it was quite difficult in the beginning. Because, of course, the mind isn't used to taking breaks. It's always used to working itself all day, every day, 24/7, even in your dreams. However, I have found through my own experiences that meditation allowed me to practice letting go and surrendering. And this will go into more of my beliefs about the world and beliefs about myself, so it may not resonate with everybody. But I started asking myself questions such as, who am I? Who is the I that is asking this question? Who is the awareness that is aware of this life? And, I didn't get answers right away. I wasn't able to understand who the I was right away. It took a lot of time and it took a lot of patience. And I'm not going to explain this in a video because then it's going to be a very, 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 very long video. And I think the answer to these questions is unexplainable and ineffable. I'm not going to get into this because I think language is devoid of vocabulary that can successfully express these concepts or express this idea. And it's not even an idea or a concept. And that's why it's so hard to talk about it. Anyway, so going back to apperception and being apperceptive, Um, it's important to be apperceptive and to have that balance and to be able to know what you're dealing with and to be able to understand what's right in front of you. And of course, that's where intuition comes in, right? You're going to use your intuition to feel things out and see, does this situation feel fishy to me, or is it for my highest good, or what's going on here, right? Then again, I can go on about intuition and how intuition is all about surrender, and you can't really bring in your previous experiences into intuition because it's more of a knowing or a message. Like I said, being apperceptive is important in certain situations, but going into a new situation or an uncertain situation with a new set of fresh eyes and not bringing in your previous experiences or your past knowledge, and just allowing yourself to be humbled. That's very hard. It's very hard to sometimes allow life to humble you, because it makes you start to question things that you thought you knew. And that can be hard for some people if they're not used to that type of exposure or they haven't practiced that. Some people may think that if they're humbled and they're proven wrong, or their ideas are proven wrong, that they're a failure or that they're stupid in some way. And that's not true. All of us are wrong or have thought something was true, but it wasn't at some point in our lives. That's part of being a human. It's an experiment, and there's no right or wrong answer to this experiment, to the way that we experiment this experience. So I hope you keep experimenting with your own life, and I hope you keep experiencing the things in your life with a new set of fresh eyes, and I hope you know when to use your apperception, but I also hope that you learn how to go into a situation with humility and just, humility. I don't have the words. So, anyway, wish you all the best. Have a great day, and happy summer. Peace and love. Bye.